All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Run with the Wind, Episode 3.
Everyone's on board. They have been blackmailed, coerced, or inspired into this race.
Yeah, but not everyone. Yeah, Kurahara is not actually, fully in on this yet. Yeah. If anything, he'll probably be the one that will be one of the toughest to convince with this, because his whole thing was, no, I know what this entails. And no, it's ridiculously tough. There is no way that any one of us could probably even do well enough to place in the whole thing.
Exactly, because they can't just decide to race. They have to qualify.
Right, and then train for plenty of time in order to even be ready to qualify.
Yep.
So while maybe a couple of them have some hidden talents that he doesn't know about, which is apparently the thing, actually, because Nico-chan senpai...
Nico-chan's busting out some moves.
He was putting down the cigarette and being I'm going to do this.
Yes, you go. Go.
I love it.
I am so rooting for you.
Yeah. And it's awesome to see as well, because he's one of the older students in the whole house, and then Haiji being the one who's kind of you will join, yes?
Yes, motivator.
Yeah, Nico-chan seems to be the one who's kind of relaxed, and yet he's also the one that
He's very determined.
Very self-motivated.
Yeah. As opposed to, let's say, Prince, for instance, who has to probably actually be drug along the road, all through the practices. Yeah. But you do what you have to do.
Yes.
Show must go on.
So, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, then come back here for the discussion. Okay. Yep, we met our newest character here.
Indeed.
She's a daughter of the vegetable vendor that that Haiji gets his vegetables for, which he uses to feed his boys. And they're actually running and actually practicing.
Yep.
And this is something that's rather cool, because while they're all kind of doing this because they're kind of forced to, they all have their individual reasons as to why they don't want to be there or do want to be there. Kurahara is actively trying to sabotage their meetings and practices by being like, this isn't possible.
Right, when he's not the one that's needing to struggle with it.
Right.
So
what's the deal?
Yeah.
What's the deal there, Kurahara?
Does it have something potentially to do with this red-haired guy with the dead eyes that, came up and talked to you at the end of the episode?
Could be. At the very least, they know each other. However, it's weird, though, that when he ends up kind of bringing up, good logical reasons as to why they won't be able to win, he's not bringing up whether or not the actual act of them doing this is worthwhile. Because it is. 100%. There's so much going on here beyond just whether or not they'll actually be able to seriously compete in the Hakone Ekiden. Yeah. And no, there's no way they're going to win. That's not the point. And if anything, Haiji never really made this about how they're going to win necessarily.
Yeah, but they're going to do it.
They're going to do it, yeah.
And now, granted, in order to even do the race, they have to win in the qualifier, which...
Yeah, the top 20%.
That is kind of crazy, so that will definitely be a victory. But, they are all better for it now that this has started to happen, whether they would like to admit it or not.
Yeah. The actual speeds required of them to be able to participate in the qualifier, though, that's where things got a little bit crazy for me, because I've seen people that are, not jogging, they're running and stuff like that. And the speeds at which they're being asked to place, basically, in some kind of official capacity, it gives me wait, what?
Yeah, wait, seriously?
No, I get the idea of the fact that they need to do this. But they need to do 16, 30, and 5,000, or 30 and 10,000.
Which, so the 10 kilometers and 30, that's a faster pace than for the 5, right? Like, so,
right, and it's either or.
Right.
I'm so confused.
I am likewise.
Yeah, for one,
confused.
For one, that's a faster pace on the longer distance. That doesn't make sense.
Right, like maybe there's like no.
Yeah. It just doesn't sound right at all.
But either way, both of those speeds are ridiculous.
Both of those speeds are actual full out running speeds. You cannot go.
That's not a jog. Like,
well, jogs are like, let's throw jogs out the window. One of the things that's different about running, where you've got both feet leaving the ground and you're able to, at the very least, like complete a mile in under 7-8 minutes or something like that. You're still running relatively fast doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, let's say you're our height, though. If you're our height and you're running like that, you're fast jogging. You're not, I would say, running actually that fast. Once you start to get below, I would say 7 and 6 minutes, then, yeah, you're running quite fast. But most of these guys are not that tall.
No.
Most of these guys actually look pretty average in terms of height. So they're not only going to be running quickly, they're going to be running at paces, exactly. They're going to be running at paces that go, we didn't get their times yet.
Right.
So we'll be seeing who has the most just of a gap to close here.
I get the feeling it's Prince, but
yeah. Oh, well, yeah, definitely.
But even then, like, how much is it exactly?
Yeah, I think at this point, Prince is more of the kind of the one that we're supposed to laugh, at or with or what have you, because he's struggling so much and
collecting
his life
butterflies
depends upon it.
Yeah.
But hitting a pace that goes up to Jacob calculated over 12 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That's about 50% faster than most people's, just above jogging running speed.
Right, which,
so
since they gave specific times, I'm guessing that's researched, looked up, factual information, So,
right.
Yeah, 3 minute kilometers, that's under a 5 minute mile. That's... not by much, but it's under that. So maintaining that for a long period of time, that's
right. I just think that I understand Kurahara's frustration, or maybe even in some ways, maybe him feeling a little bit like it's insulting that they're trying to pretend like they can do this.
I'm on the same page with you on that one.
Yeah, because I feel like he's taking it personally. It's confusing the other players. I love that our JoJo bros are
just
like, whoa,
reverse card.
Why are you acting this way? You know,
why should you care if we put in wasted effort? You know?
And they even called him by his, I believe his first name, Kakeru, or something like that. And he's like,
well,
about that.
I want to say,
right,
yeah,
and. Given that their speeds that they're needing to hit are something that are far, far beyond what they're potentially capable of. This is this is nuts. This is nuts. Yep. And given that we know a little bit about some things we can extrapolate based on some of the numbers that they gave for things like this is the beginning of the school year, or at the very least the beginning of a new school year is coming up. Because they said there's 10 months until the race.
Which is in the beginning of
January. And I looked
January.
it up, and it's on January 2nd and the 3rd. So that means that they're in March right now, before the next college year is, come up and stuff like that. So this is basically like a setup where our boy Kurahara is he's probably about to be a second year or something like that.
Sure.
They're all transitioning into their next year of school or what have you. So this is the final year starts for Haiji, for instance.
Right.
They said he's a fourth year. But if it's in March, it's probably not that this is his, the end of his year going into the next one. So this is the beginning of a new school year for a lot of these people here. What kind of dream, bee in his bonnet is giving him the passion, the drive to make this insane thing happen?
I have no idea. I'm really curious to find out, because that plus the injury, that seems like it'll be some good anime, right? When we get into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the qualifier alone seems outlandish, and we don't even know when it is exactly. We tried looking it up, but we couldn't find what the info was on when the qualifier is, because they're going from a lot of them never running at all,
right,
to 20 kilometers
20
kilometers each. No big deal, right?
No big deal. Oh my god. Like, I remember my first 5K when I was like little and stuff, like 15 or something, and it was just like, oh man, it felt so good to basically have a run thing where I wasn't competing with anyone. I think it was for some kind of charity thing. And I was just running, and there was like just people all around doing different paces. There were professional runners there. There were, old moms there and stuff like that. But once I had like finished the 5K, I just kind of thought to myself of like, could I do that again? And I was like, I wouldn't want to.
Right.
Thinking back then to be like, okay, let's imagine, it was at the prime, 18, 19, 20. Run 4 of those. No.
And fast.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the killer, is that I think a lot of us, if motivated, could easily run a 5K quickly. If our livelihood depended on it, like Prince.
Figure out a way and then collapse afterwards.
Right, exactly. It's the, this 5K, you need to run it in, 17 minutes or something like that. And you're like, okay, that's
There's
impossible.
A bear chasing you, go.
That's impossible, but you'd probably run it in 19 minutes, like... Yeah, at least I would say 17 minutes for a 5K is impossible for most of us. It's maybe impossible for me. Yeah.
I'm guessing you could probably do it in 19 minutes. No. I don't think I could.
No, right now there's hell no.
Definitely could not.
No, definitely
no
not.
Way.
Yeah. No, but that's basically the speed they're asking people. They're asking them to do the whole thing in as well.
Yep.
Yeah. So, all right. Good luck with that.
There's
but let's go into this new guy. This new guy.
Yeah. Because there's a part of me that wonders if he will actually be the way that they can actually do the Ekiden, and that Prince won't end up being able to keep pace, and then this guy will come in and be like, "Hey, I can do it."
No, I
don't think that's going to happen.
I think that's like completely not at all what's happening. This is the I will be competing against you guys kind of person.
Yeah, exactly. He definitely doesn't have the face of a good boy protagonist. He seems a lot more of the, I'm the, a bit unlikable, but will probably have some good backstory focus, but mainly I'm someone for you to compete with.
Yeah, I wanted to check to see if he had some kind of a jersey that we recognize from like the flashback or something. But if anything, I just wanted to show that he was, I believe, shown in the OP, and he was with a team of runners, I believe, here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, running the opposite direction too.
But the jersey that they had, the people that they were with,
green and white.
It looks like the colors that are in the flashback.
Gotcha. So
yeah,
so past teammate.
Yeah, I think this is a past teammate that is going to be potentially competing against.
And it's the why did you quit kind of a thing. Yeah. Oh yeah, looks same color scheme for the jerseys.
It is the same shade of green, yeah.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be, because there's no text here to denote what specific team or school they're connected with, but
the green with a little bit of white.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It fits.
Yep.
But he's not anywhere in the background here.
Right. We don't see him.
And because his design is pretty iconic.
And it was grayed out for all the other people watching. But yeah, the hairstyle is pretty iconic. And if we did see his eyes, even though we can't see many of their eyes, you can't forget those eyes.
No, definitely not.
They're so like.
This is Shinji Mato, Jacob.
Yeah. Yes. That's
literally
what it is.
who this is. And that is one of the most punchable anime characters of all time, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's something about the name Shinji for whatever reason. I swear, if this guy's name is Shinji, like...
But, no,
but my God.
It's so true. I was thinking, like, this style of face, I've seen it before.
Yep.
You know, I'm clenching my fist for some reason.
It's the hair. You know, the hair is Shinji Mato.
Yeah, the hair with the just, like... soulless eyes, you know.
Yeah.
But with that like smirk on the face where it's just like...
The smirk is the I'm good.
Right.
The smirk is the I don't just talk. I back up my talk with my walk.
The combination of the dead eyes with the smirk means that he can actually, well, no pun very much intended, walk the walk, right? Right. Whereas with Shinji it was just you knew he was a little shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But this guy's like, no, this guy's good.
This guy's serious.
Yeah.
I liked that the shop owner, and I'm guessing the father of the girl that was helping them out and being, an audience, had his little thing of, you're finally gonna have your dream come true.
Right.
Which is like, well, wait a minute. What do you what do you mean by that? Like, what is this well-known thing by a lot of these characters that we don't know as the audience?
Right. What is the dream? Or why is the dream, rather?
Sure.
But then also, what is the relationship between these characters that they know about it? Is it something where he's just that close to them because he's in his 4th year and he goes here all the time, so they've talked and he's told them about his dream? And, like... At what point in a relationship with people does he start to tell them about this dream? Because it's something that's clearly very precious to him, right? It's his dream. But since it's something where it's the only now does he have the chance of doing it, because, potentially recovering from the injury and all that stuff, is this something that he's kept quiet about? Or is it like no, eventually someday he's telling everybody he sees, I'm going to be king of the pirates. I'm going to, run the Ekiden,
Yeah, if it's something where, he got injured and his thing that he's always wanted to do with people is something he had to get passed up on because of his injury. And given that his injury is something that will basically barely put him back into full running speed by the time the actual Ekiden is ready to go. Right, gotcha. Yeah, here's her name. Katsuta Hanako, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Katsuta Hanako.
We were looking through the episode for her name.
Trying to find where her name was dropped.
We can't just call her the girl.
Right, exactly.
Even though he was kind of, having her help in that fashion of just being...
Oh, she totally was.
The girl that watches them go, so they're like, all right, we got to do better.
I mean, he literally motivated the JoJos by the power of boners of just
exactly.
Like, you'll have
this is only the
full,
beginning.
Man.
Yeah.
But... yeah, they've now actually practiced more than a few days, and these are days in a row, which I gotta say, even though some of them are just stumbling their way forward, this is going to do things to their physical bodies.
Yep.
It's going to take about a month or so before they actually start to feel the full effects of it, but if they keep at it from here... it's going to be awesome because they're all young. Right. So there's going to be a lot of things. They can
punish their bodies and it'll just, sort of take it in stride.
Right. Nicely done. Yeah. The recovery potential for most of them, if none of them are injured or if they're not Nico-chan senpai, will be quite good just in general. I
really liked that we got to the point where we transitioned into showing them doing stretches because one of the things that I was almost like curious if they were going to show is, okay, you take all these people that don't really run normally, have them run 5 kilometers just, from 0 to 5, right? Like, and they don't stretch.
Right.
What kind of like, oh my God, the calves, whatever.
They may be dealing with.
Yeah.
They might literally be delaying it and pushing it back in terms of the fact that they keep running every day. So it'll probably be in about 2 or 3 days or so when the soreness will actually hit.
And now they're doing stretches and
but they could still end up having soreness. One of the things that they brought up though, King surprised everyone with a burst of speed.
Indeed.
Because of probably the competition side of things. But King was one of the ones that had the soccer or football, depending on what area of the world you're from, experience along with
Yes.
the JoJo's. If he's one of the ones that's got the surprise, reserves or energy or just, ridiculous stamina or something like that, that's kind of exciting because one of the things that I've seen people experience when they start to get running more is they'll hit their second wind. And it's just just a turn of a phrase to basically say that they overcome some sort of a physical or mental hurdle and they get that renewed bit of energy. But I've seen people hit like third, fourth, like fifth wins equivalent to where when you push them further and further, they keep digging into their reserves, into places they've never actually, been able to tap into. And there's some really cool things that can happen when those people keep getting pushed and then keep that consistent. Like just in general, you'll see them go from being like a generally good like stamina person with regards to running to being able to tap into all of it rather quickly and just explode. There's a couple people I know who have overcome those kinds of hurdles, and their acceleration does not make sense for their size. It's easier to tell this kind of stuff when they're a lot smaller than you. And almost every single time I've seen this kind of thing, it's with someone that's around the height of about 5'4" to 5'6". Like considerably shorter than me, and yet their acceleration and overall just top speed is crazy. And then I've talked with them about like, what did you do? What kind of stuff brought you to this level? And the training and stuff is rather important, but there's always that mental hurdle or those physical hurdles as well that they just pushed through at some point to where they can just turn everything on. And it's really cool.
Yeah. Because running for the sake of running especially, it's almost a pure discipline game. Yes, there's the physical aspects of it for sure, right? You need to keep your body in ship shape so that you can run for long periods of time, run quickly, all that stuff, right? But because it's not something like say, with Frisbee, for instance, Frisbee for me, even if I don't run a lot, I can still enjoy Frisbee because you're doing something, right? There's a purpose to the running, right? But when it's just running for the sake of running, and it's just all right, go in that direction, or worse, go in circles, or even worse, go on a treadmill,
right?
And it's just like, okay, just run and tire yourself out until this number hits a certain thing. It's like, oh my God, that's awful, right?
Right.
But for the people that end up actually doing it, that says a lot. That says an awful lot about their own mental reserves, not just physical. So the fact that all of them are actually doing this, even Prince, the fact that he actually finishes the 5K.
Yes, that's really important.
Good on
and
you.
It's a 10K.
Well, right. But but for each way, getting to rest at the spot.
Even though he's walking, like he's
just sort of shambling around, as the butterfly
zombie lean forward and
when the butterfly was in front of him and he was all hunched over and just. Like that. God, that was so good. That was great.
That was amazing.
But
that's wonderful.
That's one of the things that always blows me away whenever I hear about the people that do these kinds of crazy races.
Right.
And it's and I, of course I train for it. So, it's 10 miles every morning or something like that. And it's like, wait, what? What?
Yep.
Like, no, that's stop. First, stop. You're making me look bad, but how?
Right. All of these guys that are showing up here to practice and run, all of them have the, I would say, bare minimum advantages to where they could run 20K just fine. Like, none of them have any of the overwhelming disadvantages that a lot of people have to be able to run long distance.
Yeah, even the one that probably has the biggest disadvantage of Nico-chan, he has the most trained experience of actually running. So, other than Haiji. So
that's why one of the things that I find rather interesting about the fact that the boys basically are like, no, you, Kurihara, Kakeru, what's your deal? Is that, theoretically, if they had enough time to train, all these boys, given the proper nutrition, proper training, and proper just discipline in general, could become really good runners. That's, I'd say, part of the thing that's rather how to say this? It's the thing about, I would say, the difference between being a professional runner and being like a really just skilled runner, accomplished runner in that respect, is that when it gets down to it, the professional runners are dealing in small percentage increment advantages and differences in speed than those that are probably participating in like the Hakone Ekiden. The Olympic runners are going to be running, well beyond 12 miles an hour, but they're also running over smaller distances and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So in this respect, all these guys are young. They're relatively fit. None of them are extremely overweight in that regard. And also they have, a lot of them have like specific backgrounds that involved some measure of running.
That'll help out, right? Because the speeds that they have to reach are fast.
But they're not actually that impossible. It's just maintaining them over the long period of time.
Exactly, because they're not competing on a speed level.
Yep.
Yes, they do need to be fast.
Right.
But
that's
it's just
a
question
qualifier.
Of, right, that's for the qualifier, and it's really way more of a question of can they maintain that speed.
Yeah.
You don't need to have some crazy particular body type in order to do that. As long, I mean,
these guys don't need to change much about their body type at all.
Right.
Like they're basically all set in that regard.
They don't have the issue of like, oh, sorry, you were born with shorter legs, so you can't do this because it's not about the top speed.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So in this respect, I want to see really quickly them double down on what they set up here with Jojiro or Jotaro, whichever one it was, calling Kakeru out of being like, we're the ones doing the work.
What are
this
you
is tough
complaining
for
about?
us.
Yeah.
Why are you upset that we're working hard for something that you can obviously just do by yourself?
Right.
Like, we get it, dude. I want to see this kind of mature, college level maturity, at least, response where it's the, hey, maybe there's some ego involved, a little bit of, no, we have to watch you run off, all showboating and stuff and being like, you're so fast and so perfect at this and everything.
Right. Who are you to say that we can't put in the hard work for this?
Yeah. And also, like, who cares even if we can't?
Right.
I would love to have that be brought up as well. The moment where they're like 6 months in and they're not even close still, because that's realistically going to happen.
Probably.
What I expect to happen is that 3 people halfway through will be able to make the qualifier actual minimums. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
Is there's going to be a point, because right now I think they're still hitting a little bit of the high. There's going to be the point where they start pushing them to...
And it's the grind sets in.
Right, basically add about 25% extra speed to their numbers, and it'll kill about, like, 7 of them. Like, it will be just a, like, we need to do a lot of little things that we weren't doing before consistently for the next few months, otherwise we won't increase the speed.
Right.
Sleep, food, general breathing exercises with regards to while you're not running, so that when you are running, you're breathing properly. And then just the mental discipline, which, that'll be a thing.
Also, one of the things that I loved from this episode is all the stuff with Yuki. Because
the
fact that it's coming from the person who is the law student, he's studying to be a lawyer, right?
Yep.
Of course you wouldn't be able to just pester him into doing something. He's like, no, I know my rights. You can't force me to do it if I don't want to. I'm not going to show up. I'm going to, go clubbing and all that stuff.
Right.
Right? And then, of course, just, Haiji. Yeah, I'll always be here.
Oh, can I get your number then?
Yep.
Because I'm about to commit a crime on you. And like, back up, man.
But like the fact that he just, I'll figure out a way to get you to break down eventually, because you'll do the cost benefit analysis and you'll realize that it's worth it to just go along with my demands. It's that whole, training to be a lawyer. So, figuring out what that middle ground is, what that settlement is going to be.
Yep.
So I appreciated that a lot as far as the comedy goes.
Yeah. Yuki as the smart character that is also the difficult character makes for fun dialogue type conflict.
Yeah, great banter.
Because the banter in this show is getting better and better. And if we can have it where the conflicts between the individual players and Haiji don't just automatically disappear because they're practicing, that can lead to some really cool moments later on in the season where, you know, when things get tougher,
right,
it doesn't just go away because, oh, we decided earlier. No, that's not how life is.
Yeah,
people sometimes just give up. People sometimes just are like, no, this doesn't seem worth it anymore.
There's
I'm
a part
gonna
of
change
me
my
that-
mind.
Yeah, there's a part of me that wonders when that's going to happen with Prince. Like, because you know he's fully going on it because of the stick, right? There's
Eventually
nothing.
the stick, he gets numb to it.
Right, exactly. There's nothing of the carrot in here for him, right? And eventually you'll just start to bite back, right? You know, so it's
I can see that.
So it's the fine, whatever. I'll you know figure out some other place to go, and I guess I'll have to pack up all these books. Oh God,
Yeah.
you know. But like,
Right.
And if he does stay, he's going to need to find something more in it in order to actually succeed than just I don't want to move, right? Because otherwise, I don't think he'll make the speed.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that'll end up happening. So what is going to be that thing where he's like, okay, no, I'll actually do it. I'll do it for my waifu, if nothing else, or something like that. You know, like
God, I would love to see Haiji trying to convince Prince regarding how his 2D girls will be happy with him regarding him doing this. Yeah.
Because it is wonderful to watch him just be like, lift up the cardboard boxes, but you know,
go.
Yeah.
That delivery, there were so many actually good like voice acting delivery moments there. Yuki had one as well that I mentioned in the reaction, but that moment where Haiji just like go.
Yep.
It's perfect. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
Yes, so we stream Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Mondays, podcast. Tuesdays, One Piece dramatic manga readings. Wednesdays and Fridays, you do gaming.
Yeah, I'm playing Hades right now, which will be followed by Cyberpunk 2077 when it comes out.
Right. And then on Thursdays, I do gaming, which is Persona 4 Golden right now.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.